So I quickly import control. Okay, I was one that created the shortcut, so no need telling you. Anything I press, I will say it. So I import the backgrounds. I save it in live. That's a mountain there, but let me get the sea first. The sea is the background. So first of all, when it comes, it's on its transform mode. You get it? So it's you that will be clicking to expand it. If you expand like this without holding an alt, it will be expanding one-sided. So but if I hold on the alt, it expands from the midpoint. And I think I like it that way. It's transforming. Okay, it's clear now. Okay, it's a little bit blurry. The picture does not have much quality, but we'll manage it. Okay, so I said I would change the cloud, so I'll go and get cloud. So I import again. Get the cloud. We'll work on the clouds. So go to clouds. I have a collection of clouds. I used to like this one a lot. So I'll measure it too sharp, but let me just take this one first. I'm gonna put it inside. Of course, transform mode. But if you look at the way it is, it's looking straight. No cloud is as straight at the end point. You understand? This end point is looking straight. No cloud is as straight as that. So we have to work on it. But first of all, it's also looking like it's white. You know, I want to blend it into the background. So let me just expand it a bit by using the transform mode. Okay. Okay, it's transformed now. Then let's apply blend. Let's check multiply. See what multiply does. It's not really perfect. Overlay is not still perfect. Okay, let's just scroll through all that. I don't think I see what I like. I'll manage that multiply and let's do some things on it. Let me reduce the opacity. I'll work on the color later. Okay, so let's say I've added my cloud now. Let me bring in my mountain. Bring in mountain, go back to live. Okay, get my mountain. Now it's looking like it's covering the sea now. Of course, that's how it will most want to look like, but we can work on it. So one of the things we can do is we have to mask. So we'll put our layer mask. Click on the layer mask, it creates a layer mask. Then change to brush tool. Yeah, B, brush tool. So right click and check the hardness. I want it to be a soft brush, so it's taken down. Then if your caps lock is on, it means you may not be able to see your brush size. You understand? It's not on, so the brush size is very small. So I increase the brush size with that bracket, the close bracket, increases it. So far so good. Check the opacity. It is 100% flow and all that. It is it's going to remove. If I paint to black, so and the background is white here, so I just dampen it gradually. Okay, I need to reduce my brush size because I want to be precise on that. See what I just did now. I just added a mountain to the image. I'm cleaning anything like because I'm just cleaning it to be sure that nothing is there. Especially when you are looking at your mask area here, you just look at it to be sure that nothing is obstructed. If you notice any dots there, it means that there are some things around there. But the image did not get up to this point, so even if you are seeing white here, it's just of no use. Okay, so let me see if maybe any blend mode can make sense. Let's like multiply. It's not going to make sense. So let's leave it at what it is. Let's click outside. Alright, so now I'm going to put another mountain by the side there again to make it two mountains. I think I have another mountain there. Yep. Okay, this one is looking nicer. This one, the resolution is poor. That's why it's showing like this. This one safe, it's not even. It will almost be visible that I mirrored it. Let me just see if I can try something different. Okay, I'll mask this now. I'll mask the C out. Once you click on mask, you select your brush, and because you've done your brush settings before, once you do your brush setting once, it's like, except maybe you want to change the settings, you go back to it again. So see, I have put some kind of, now I want to reduce the softness because I want to go detailed and reduce the size. I don't like that softness is giving, it's becoming almost obvious. Like you can see that these areas, they are blending into the sea. In these areas. So somehow I'm forming something out of this now. Okay, let's introduce something like sun. I'm going to get lens. It's something I used to do anything I want, whether sun or anything. So let me take this guy. You notice that I'm not doing anything on the colors now. The colors are odd right now, but it's okay. So let's assume. Nope. That's how it is. It's lens. I created this on myself. Let me duplicate it because I want to reduce the size so that the inside will be so dim. I duplicated it. Lens. Let me duplicate it again and still reduce it. I want the intensity to be much at the midpoint. You understand? Now let me try something. I think the intensity at the midpoint. Yes. Wait. Let me change blend mode. I think I will notice something different. Let me change blend mode. It didn't change. screen. Get this second one as screen, this one as overlay. So this way now is looking as if the sun is setting. Okay, now let me now bring in the color controller now, hue and saturation. So if I no, from the see that now where we have the adjustment. So I bring in hue and saturation. I colorize. Because if you colorize it, we just, you know, it's above all of them now. Nothing is taking place now. But once you just maybe select colorize or tamper with these colors, like perfect, see what's going on, see what's going on. But I want to colorize, so I want it to affect everything. So you see the saturation is down, that's why it's showing like that, and some are showing like maybe as in it's lacking color. Okay, so let me increase the saturation a bit. Increase the saturation, increase the saturation, increase the saturation. This is a background. Hue and saturation has blended everything together. You get, but I need to still define the colors of things I want. Like you see now the sun has disappeared, but there's sun there. So if we bring this hue and saturation below the sun, where we think is the sun, you notice something different. Are you getting it now? So we are telling the hue and saturation to affect the background below and not affect the sun. So the sun, because it has its own, the radiance of the color of the hue we applied. You know that the hue we applied, immediately we put colorize, it chose this color, orange color. Meaning if we change it now, for instance, it's not going to work. We brought it to green point. So let's take it back to the orange point. That's where we will to blend more. Okay, I added a bit of red now, so let me take it back a bit. If you find it difficult to control, you can just control with the numbers. 27 is there, so if you increase it to 28, you're noticing something different. But I think that 27 was very perfect. Let me see 26, 25. The red is beginning to show. Okay, 27 makes sense. So now with this now, one of the things you'll be noticing is that you still see white. The color is affecting, but you see white and this thing. So I want it to, I want the white like to also be affected very, very well. You understand? So let's what we can do is let's maybe introduce from this point, introduce a curve. Adjustment layer. So in this curves adjustment layer, I'm going to bring it down. It drops everything, like it darkens everything completely. You noticing now? You noticing, Abby? Let me off it. Before it's looking whitish, after it's dropping everything, so it's making the things look like it's like it's not washed out of camera. You understand? I don't know how to say, but you know when camera is bad, white everywhere. So that's what I'm trying to make it look realistic now at some point. Okay, so I'm going to introduce curves to levels, specifically because of this white. So if I introduce levels, I will adjust here this point. Excuse me. Can I pause this? Okay, so the levels now will help me to adjust. Now in the levels, I want you to take note of these things. They are like black, gray, midpoint, then white. So adjusting any of them we mean adjust the white point, adjust the black point. For instance, if you drag from here to here, you'll be noticing the blacks. Sorry, I've never said dragging. You're noticing the blacks coming out, getting darker. Why, if you adjust from here, you'll be noticing the white getting whiter. You noticing now it's getting whiter, B. So, and I don't want that. Rather than that, I want that the white to get darker, but I can use the gray point to control it too. You understand? Like, let it also shift. So this gray can also kind of be an adjustment, like whose side you want to be on. So I think at this point it's okay for me like this. So let it really look like this side. Maybe here's the reflection. It's not, this mountain is making it not look real because the reflection is coming here. This one is showing as if there's another reflection coming there. So this mountain is not giving me what I want. Okay. What can I do now? What can I do? It looks like I have to change it. Change the mountain. Let's see. I will just get another mountain that does not have too many whites. Let's go to background, live. I think this one is even much more preferable. It's much more preferable because there's dark, there's shade here. I'll brush it out. So I'm using it to replace. Okay, I have to close our mask now and transform it. I'm transforming. Like I'm transforming to bring out where I want the mountain to show. Remember, I'll still mask out some areas. Okay. I'll just delete the old mask because it's making it look somehow. I've not deleted it. I'm going to delete it now. Selecting it, I've deleted it. So I put a new mask now. Then select my brush tool. Increase the brush size. Make it a soft brush. Visibility, opacity, everything. So actually, so the sea is coming out now. So you see now. So I think I have the mountain I want. So
The mountain you brought in now, you are taking this part and the other part.
yes, I'm taking. There are two mountains here now. You can see mountain one is this guy in front here. Okay, this other mountain extended to this, and I like it. It blended.
Okay,
It blended, and I like it. And that's why I think I like it. Which other mountain is it? This mountain and this one. So you can see.
Can you lock everything? I mean, let's say just this mountain and
Oh, that's off every other thing. That means I'll off the sea, off the cloud. You can
You
see.
can on the sea. Let's see just down this mountain and the sea how it's like.
Okay, let's remove the
Like
color.
I want to just move this other mountain that is here.
I'm coming. Have you seen what you want? Okay, so I put my cloud back. So you see now we have blended backgrounds together. Okay, I'll put a text on this, but before I put a text on this, you know, it's also one thing for you to take note of what you want your users or viewers to see. What do you really want them to see? If somebody should look at this background now, the first thing that comes to his mind is, okay, sun was setting. Everything, sun is setting at this point. And so it could be pretty nice, but if you put a text on it, the text might be the focus instead of the sunset. Are you getting it? So let's try and put a text on it. Okay, and give it a white color. You see that the text is sitting above every other thing. Okay, let's group our stuff. From here to here is the sum, so let's call it the sum and group it and name it the sum. Not sound. Just Ctrl G now. You create a folder. From here to here. Select the first one. Hold down Shift, select the last one, and press Ctrl G and BG. Not Alt, Shift. Then here is the text. There's no need now until we have any text. So we can centralize this to be sure it's at the center. Then let me duplicate it. It's a design now, so let's start making it look like one. Okay, so this one, I just kind of control click. Remember I taught this in the previous class. It forms. Yeah. So we create a mask. And that's we create a new layer. Sorry, create a new layer. What I did was I created a new layer. And while that is still selected, I press. I go and fill it up. Edit, fill. So I select the color I want. I want it to be yellow. Maybe on the start of yellow. No, we're not seeing this. Let's select this yellow. Then adjust it. Somewhere around there, I like the yellow. Click OK. Click OK. So now it has changed the color, but it is not really the feel I want, it's the outline I want. And the way I used to do it is I will reduce this selection. You understand? Like shrink it. It's actually called contract. From select, modify, contract. I put a shortcut there before I put it by myself. So, and it will ask me by what. If I say by 5, which is small and okay, this is what happens. It has reduced it to, do you notice it's no longer at the edges? The mask, the outline, it has reduced it. So if I go and mask, it will mask this one, leaving the other one. But what I want is I want it to mask out this one, leaving the outline. That's to form an outline. So I hold Alt in masking. If I hold Alt in masking, that's what it will do. What I want is what it will do. That's exactly what it will do. No, I just left click. So to just mask out. So that's exactly what I wanted. If I didn't do it that way, and I just go and click mask, it will reduce the letters, you understand, smaller. And the only way for me to achieve it is by pressing Ctrl I to inverse. You understand? So, but the fastest, there's 2 ways. But the fastest way for me is to just hold on Alt and click, and I'm done. I'm masked. Okay. So I think I can just duplicate that because that's what I wanted to have. I wanted to use it twice. Okay. So no need for this guy. So just convert this guy to smart object. Convert it to smart object and duplicate. Transform to take it down. There are 2 there. So one will follow me. I first transformed it. When you want to move something that is like outline or tiny, it's best to transform it, because if you go and click there, you go and click something else because it's too tiny to catch. But if it's something like this now, when you click here, Photoshop knows this, you click here. But look at this, it will click in the background, and the more you try, the more you face difficulty in it. So you see, it's better to convert to smart object and transform it. Yes. Yeah. So with this now, see how the text now look like. So depending on what I have as plans for this design. So far I've already started going far. You understand? Started going far. I do not want to start doing the things I've not taught you, just like applying law. Depth of field. Depth of field is when you want the visible area, like this mountain. I don't want it to be so visible, so glaring. What I would have done is to apply blur to it, so it blurs out. It should not be the focus. It's too focused, like it's too sharp a focus, so I'll blur it, and it will not be the focus, but it will be in the background, so that my text can come out. I don't want people come, they are battling with which one is the message. Are you getting the idea? So far so good. What did I do? Let's go back to the background. Let's off all the layer that has to do with text. Text layer. These are text layer. Control G, group it, and call it Yahweh. And off it. So what did we do? We added a sun. Sorry, let's start from the beginning. Let's remove the sun. Remove the sun. Okay, inside the background, let's remove the hue. Let's remove the levels. Let's remove the curve. Let's remove this. Remove the cloud. So here we had a blue sea. That's how we started. The blue sea. Then we added this layer, this sky, and changed the blend mode to multiply. Reduce the opacity to 90. That's exactly what we have on board as layer visibility. By adding that, we added more details to the cloud that the background originally came with. Then we added a mountain to block it off, though the bottom of the mountain is not looking good, but somehow by the time we added the second mountain, it covered up. Oh, I didn't even notice that aspect, because the color blended it. Okay, so then we added the curve. When we added the curve, it dimmed the color a bit. Colors. There's something we didn't do on this sky. Like we were supposed to mask it. It's too straight. Yes, it's too straight at the bottom there. So let me just quickly do it. Change the brush too, and just mask it out. Like it that way. Okay. So then we added levels. Levels was to really darken the color more than what curves did. Then we added hue to bring out the color. So maybe that's why this place is looking like a hole or something like that. Okay. I did not work on that place. If I really wanted to, maybe I would have duplicated this rock and mirror it to look on the other side. Then I think that was all for the background. Then we added the sun. The sun now casted around it. What did we do to the sun? The first lens was just an ordinary lens. Then we reduced the size of the second lens and changed the blend mode to screen. This way, the color, the blend mode to screen. You understand? So this way, the color, we had an inner color coming out before the outer color. So we can say that the inner color is yellow and the outer color is orange. So it's like a gradient from the middle, from the midpoint. Then we added another smaller one at the midpoint, in which this thing, what is it called, the blend mode was overlaid. It didn't actually show much effect. Maybe we should put it in normal. It will make sense. So maybe that overlay was nice. If we put it to colored dot, it will be too obvious. That overlay was good. Alright, so that was the sun. Then we introduced our text. So our text, or the composition of our text, is just Yahweh. The reason we did now was that the first text, we control click. When you control click, you select and form the size of it. But before we did that, we duplicated first. You understand? We duplicated. So this duplicate was what we worked on. You understand? This duplicate was what we worked on. As we clicked on it,
Can you click Control click to mask it run?
Mask it run.
Imaginary line.
Yes, those
Then
imaginary
to
lines.
do it, what do you complete?
We went to select. Under select, you know, it's a selection, so it has this menu called select menu. So under the select menu, you go to modify. You cannot show now until you have something that is selected. So let's make one. So control click and it forms. So when we go to select menu, it's active, contract. We can also expand. Expand increases it. You understand? But before we did all that, after we formed this selection, we created a layer, a new layer. You understand? A new layer, and fill it up with a color. You saw me when I selected a color. Fill it up with a color. When color is selected like this, let me close. When color is selected like this, and you want to apply a new color, just select the color again to open a dialog box. You get? Otherwise, if you just come and apply color, to apply the color that you last applied, which is for me fine. Okay. So if you click OK, it forms a color. You see. So now it's now time to contract. You will not contract except you have filled the color. So we'll now contract. And I reduce by 5. It goes inside. If you feel like you want more outline, you can still reduce or contract again by 5. Then with this now, we just hold an Alt and click on the mask. That's what we did. Or if you don't hold an Alt, if you just click on the mask, it will mask it out. Yes. Let me remove all this one so I will see what we are doing. So I've maxed out. But if I press Ctrl I now, it inverses. Ctrl I, it inverses. You understand? So it has inversed, and that's what we have. Here we. Okay, I have an album cover to work on, so that's why I started with this. And when I finish it, I think this will give me a guide. I'll show you the final outcome. But so far so good. I've thought to the point of we've learned. So we'll leave it here.